So if you're watching this in the future, thanks to Pam, I know that a a Monday night stream thumbnail for Wednesday. I know it's Wednesday, but because I'm so discombobulated, I'm going to play my Saturday opening. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. What day of the week is it? Oh, that's it. Where are we? We're in the house of sewing.
It's Busta Rhymes on Friday, kicking it ballistics on WIMN. Yo, I got a phone call from my girl. She wants to hoe cake. I said, hold up. Yo, take this. You're trying to get money here. WIMN, Taylor Soul, Saturday,
Girl meets boy on Thursday night. Boy was high, girl fly like kite. They hold hands until next day. Boy then let's go hit his way. Boy rolls blunt rat to his boys. Erection brings bad boy joys. Boy thinks of that big fat fat. Big black fat, love big black fat. Girl calls boy to send him up on Saturday. Saturday, Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday, it's a Saturday.
Back once more with the wallop in the score. Sponsored by the riff shit to make you rock your hip. Revival of the roller boogie in the ricochet to make you think about the time we spoke fun instead of fight. But diving from a piece of metal should have done life. Slip your butt to the fix of this mix. Once that briefcase is time to let loose, cause you work like heck to get the weekend check. So unfasten that sleeper on your neck. Connected like a vibe from the wheel to the foot. Come on everybody, get the funky output.
5 days you work, one whole day to play. Come on everybody, wear your roller skates today. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday,
Now as you pump your fists, I reminisce to a bounce rock skate roll fest to impress. Hey pretty diamond, do you like the way I'm dressed? Cool, keep the faith and be my mate, cause all we need is feet. But promote the hustle cause it keeps me thin. No need to talk, Luke just walked in.
Is there a gun on stage?
Yes, man.
So kick the wham on this jam.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkler, Mr. Sprinkler. Wet me for one, Mr. Sprinkler. I'm heating high five and a day's no split. With a yawn, I trip to the dawn. Out comes the bodies following the one idea. It's clear. Rattle to the roll. Hold back up the track, grab your roller skates, y'all. And let's zip on by. Zippity doo, now let's zip on by. Feed on the weed and we're feeling high. Sun is on thick and the cheese is rolling thick. Come on, it's no time to hide. Season is twist, spinning and winning. No hack and sack, let me in. Spill on the bottom away, but it's okay. It's a Saturday.
Now let's all get baked like Anita.
Watch Mr. Lawn, don't look at the Peter.
Feel on the farm, I'll feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time to act the fool tonight. Forget about your worries and you will be alright. It's Saturday.
Okay, I'm well aware it's Wednesday. My thumbnail is wrong. I've been running around all day. It's Wednesday, but it's feeling like Monday. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is William. Welcome to my so-called life. It is yet another hectic day here in the house of sewing. Nothing but driving around and making wrong thumbnails. I hope everybody's having a great evening wherever you are. And if you watch this in the replay, I absolutely thank you. And you are welcome to watch this when I go live at any time. But before I start, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the views of every single human being on planet Earth. And here in my so-called life airlines, we have exits on both sides. That's Amaskirta and Erecha. I hope everybody has a great evening. Where am I? What day of the week it is? Do you know this is now the second time that Pam has reminded me that my thumbnail is completely off by a couple of days. Or there was like one time I said, hey, it's Monday, and it was not Monday. But regardless, I hope everyone's doing well. I finished my fur coat. as you know, it's obvious I've been posting a lot of shorts lately. I'm going to say this again. I have 5 years of footage, so I apologize in advance. Anytime where I was standing in the middle of the screen, I'm like, oh, that's a short. That's a short. So I've gone a little crazy with my YouTube shorts. But I finished my coat. It looks great. But let's be real. When you make a fur coat in July, those are life choices. But I'm going to switch my camera real quick. I'm going to put this thing on for as long as I could stand. Today I was filming myself, and I was standing there, and I was like, all right, I got my camera ready and everything, and I ran outside with the coat on. Oh, you know, I guarantee you I'm on all of my neighbors' greatest hits on their security cameras. I guarantee you. And yes, I wear my phone because if I do not wear my phone, I will lose it. So I'm one of those people who actually has a phone clip and wears it. Oh. So 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I was at Walmart, and they have every stereotypical color you could possibly think of. They had the Wookiee color again. I've made a red fur coat, a white, every color you could possibly think of except for gray. I love how this came out. And I didn't go all the way down to the floor. This was $14.97 a yard. So I purchased 4 yards of this. I still have enough left over. I'm thinking about making a hat or something in that realm. I don't know. But making fur coats in July, let's just say, I don't know why I do this every year. I make a bunch of really hot clothes during the summer, but I'm ready for the winter. So I'm thinking I'm going to line this. I haven't decided what to line this. When I say line, I'm sorry. I mean outline this. I feel like ribbon or something would cheapen the look. So let me know. Should I use the material my leftovers? So it's Wednesday. Feels like Monday, but you wish it was Saturday. Gotcha. That's kind of how I always feel, Pam. I'm one of those people. I'm sitting at work, or even every day I take my son to his MMA class, and I'm sitting in the parking lot just waiting for it to be the weekend. But I feel like most people, I don't think I'm special in that sense. I don't think I'm above anyone in that sense of I'm just like everybody else trying to make it to the weekend or whenever it is your day off. But I love how this coat came out. I look like I'm about to come and collect the rent. And making goofy stuff like this is why I sew in the first place. Normally, I wouldn't have purchased something that was 14 something a yard, but I know that the price for this starts at least in downtown Los Angeles, it's $50 a yard. There was even a place where I saw they wanted $75 a yard. That's why when I made the rainbow furry coat, it was such a challenge, because when I went downtown, I was seeing $75 a yard, $80 a yard, and I thought that was insane. So luckily Walmart had the exact same material, which still to this day I think is a weird thing. Hat would be cool or hot. My grandparents, they traveled all around the world, and wherever they went, they would buy clothes there. And my grandparents, 60 for the fur coat. Yeah, it's I spent some money. And my grandparents would they would go around the world and they went to Russia. Long story short, they came back with these with what's called stadium jackets, but they had fur along a line the entire top, and they also had fur hats. I have my grandfather's coat. Where the hat is I have no idea. But if you think about it, like, at least this is my justification for spending for 14 bucks a yard. It's still cheaper than Joann's, which, for the record, in my area, my local Joann's has been going out of business for almost 3 or 4 years now. And they keep on restocking. It doesn't look like they're closing to me, but they constantly have all closing signs all the time. And the last time I was in there, it was bare bones. And then I went in because it just happens to be right next to Walmart. I went in the other day and they restocked the store completely. So if Joann's is going out of business, it's not around here. We had a Kmart. Kmart in America went out of business, and there was still a Kmart in my town up until about 4 years ago. And they had all the Kmart brand stuff, all the Kmart cups and everything. So you never know. I have to take this thing off. Oh, let's see. I don't think I have anything from Amazon. I I'm so sad. I have a special spot where they put everything on my porch where I can see it. We have porch pirates all around here, but they haven't hit my street yet. It's because we have a really bad reputation, so hopefully that sticks. But where you guys live, do you have a problem with porch pirates? I'm actually really curious about that. Because of the Ring network and all of all of modern day technology. I get alerted all the time when something gets swiped off a porch. And when you have a Ring, you sign up for um basically, if you have a Ring, they can use your video at any time. So half the time I think they're alerting us and the people don't even know they've been robbed. Awesome. So tonight I'm gonna make pants because I couldn't decide what to do with this amazing fabric. I couldn't decide what to do with this. And I wasn't just going to let it go to the waste. So I figured I was going to make a pair of really amazing pants with this. This particular material is I want to say tweed, but it's synthetic tweed. If that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. And somewhere around here, I have the actual label. Oh. Pam, fabric prices are insane though because it's extremely arbitrary depending on where you are. And I was looking up fabric in Nevada, and it's $4 to $5 cheaper than it is here. So I guess it depends on where you live. And yes, Mona, next time I go to Vegas, and I'm planning it very soon, I'm gonna go to So Yeah. I've already Googled it. I know where the streets are. uh, Yay! Hello, Joy. Hello. How's it going? Great to see you. That reminds me, before I start sewing, let's see if that brother sewing machine that I bought in Vegas works. Great to see you, Joy. I hope everything is well. Great to see you. Yay! Hello. Let's see. I feel so sorry for my neighbors. I feel so sorry for my neighbors. Today, I literally came running out with my fur coat on. I filmed myself for a certain time, and I was like, huh, huh. It was like I was running, running the 100-yard dash. All right. So let me see if I can find the cord for that, brother. I'm sure it works. And now that I've purchased real sewing machine oil, I really don't have to worry about it, right? I have to laugh because I own quite a few of these sewing machines. And when they work, they're extremely dependable. And when they don't, it's going to teach you how to refurbish a sewing machine. All right. Where did I hide the cord? Perfect. I'm going to clear off this area a little bit. I think I finally figured out why my camera doesn't work. It didn't like being on the extender, so I plugged it directly into the computer and it works. You know what? I'll futz around with that in a minute. So how's everybody doing? How's the weather treating you? I hope everybody's safe. There's been some serious weather lately. I always gripe, but I live in one of those places where the weather really doesn't attack us like in other places. So in all sincerity, I hope everyone's doing well. Because it's just hot here, but it's hot every year. So if you move here, like you already know, it's going to be blistering hot. And even like recently when I was in Nevada, it was 112 outside and it did not feel like 112. But I think also because I'm from the desert, it all feels the same after like 105. It's just hot. It's just hot. So I purchased this. I need to tape the receipt on the sewing machine. I purchased this in Nevada, and I have a ton of stuff in the way, of course. This is a Brother XL 3100. I own quite a few XL and the LX models. Like I said, when these run, these are the greatest backup machines of all time. When they do not run, they're a great way to teach you how to refurbish a sewing machine. Oh. Perfect. So light works. That's always a good sign. You know, I opened this at the store and it opened right up. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, that's not coming off. I think there's things in here. Oh, it makes me laugh because when I hit it at the store, okay, I'm not gonna mess with you right now. So it looks like it's threaded. Let's see if it works. It definitely sounds like it needs some oil and some love, but these are the machines that I started collecting because I would run through these things because I need an industrial, and it's been 3 years and I still buy these. And I love taking these apart and putting them back together, but this one actually runs well, so it just needs to be cleaned a little bit and oiled. And now I definitely have to pop this off. That came off so easy. Beautiful. Let's check the bobbin. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to this, and I guarantee you that knock is going to go right away. And like I said on Monday, I own stock in 3-in-1 oil. But I finally civilized the House of Sewing and got some proper sewing machine oil. I know it's shocking to some people. I purchased this and the Amazon brand that was like the most reliable because I might purchase a gallon of it. Because I'm sitting in a room of sewing machines. And the funny thing is, the old school sewing machines, they go from that mannequin all the way to the door, and that's a good like 12, well, it's like a good 14 feet. So it's 14 feet of sewing machines over there. All right, let me remove that. Perfect. So what's everybody sewing? I know it's late at night. Oh, this needs to be defluffed a little bit, so let me get my brush. A lot of the time, people get rid of sewing machines like this because they slow down over time and they stop working. It's because a lot of people do not maintain their sewing machines. Wow. Look how much I pulled out just off one little swipe. And especially when the gunk gets caught up in the feed dogs, that's when it causes drama when you're sewing. And you're like, how come my brand newish sewing machine isn't working? I need to bring my air compressor back in here. All right, let me fire that up and see. I'm not sewing anything at this time. Did you finish that big order that you had? Oh, there's all kinds of dust bunnies that are flying out of this thing. All right, I'm going to get rid of that clack. Awesome. Awesome. Oh. Waiting for some more. Do you know, I know the feeling. I know the feeling of like, oh, what's next? All right. Let's It's amazing what sewing machine oil does. Perfect. Do you know what's funny? When my kid was younger, because I have a giant fountain in my backyard. And when my kid was younger, every year I'd get a kiddie pool. And I had a kiddie pool that lasted 6 years. And this year it finally tanked and I bought a new one. And I'm glad. For all the people who, and I take vacations, I go a lot of places by myself, but I have no greater joy than laying in the kiddie pool, a full deprivation tank, just sitting there on a hot day, like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. And it's just big enough where I'm going to get a couple of floaties. I'm going to get one of those things where I could sit in. It's hot where I live. I'm into architecture. In a weird way, your house goes for more if you do not have a pool. It's a weird insurance thing. So technically, I don't have a pool. I have a giant fountain. It's a weird insurance thing. But my whole point is, I love sitting in the kiddie pool, especially when it's insanely hot like this year, and it's just going to get worse and worse. So it's a joy. It's the little things in life. Oh, that still sounds terrible. But I almost should take this off and add oil in here and then be done with it. But do you have any respites that you do, like drinking coffee, going to the beach? Is there anything that you do as a respite from the everyday insanity? And I'm hitting the wrong button. I live really close to the beach. I used to go there all the time. I think I played it out in a way. People who do not live near the beach are like, "Are you crazy? I'd go to the beach every day." I did. I went to the beach every day. And now like everyone around me like, "You want to go to the beach?" And they're like, "Man." I need to go back downtown. It's been a while. But one of the reasons I stopped going downtown is because I literally have rolls and rolls of fabric. I turned my house into a real life fabrics. Man, I'm still pulling stuff out of here. I turned my house into a fabric store, so I had to stop going downtown because every time I would go to downtown LA, I would come just with a roll on each arm. Could you imagine? Every time I went to downtown LA, I purchased no less than 200 yards every time. And I went quite a few times. Well, that still sounds horrible. So I tried to give it a rest because I went crazy when I discovered the fashion business. Oh, that's much better. Perfect. It's even catching on. It's changing its timing and everything. I can hear. So far, every single sewing machine that I purchased from Las Vegas was a complete and utter victory, and that's rare. Sometimes you'll buy something, it looks good, you get home, you plug it in, and it's a complete dud. Especially the old school sewing machines with plastic. I always say buyer beware, but so far, I've completely scored. And tonight after the live stream, after I make my pants, I'm gonna film that table in all of its glory, but then I'm gonna take the side off and I'm gonna put it right here. It's gonna eventually live right there, but I miss having a sewing machine right here. Besides being an amazing place for my coffee cup, it encouraged me to sew more than I ever did. I had a Nelco N100 here, and I would sew every day on that thing, and I kind of miss having an old school sewing machine right here. And that's almost identical to the body of my Nelco N100. But the Nelco is definitely like late 1960s, maybe 1970s. So I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to finish pinning my pants. I'm trying to see. I did not buy any oopsies at Walmart. I know that's crazy. It's because I bought all that furry fabric. The second I saw the furry fabric, I was like, "Oh, here we go. Here we go." And it gave me an excuse to make some more crazy pants. I'm trying to go in the direction of not making a million coats, but let's be real, that's what I love to do. So eventually I am just going to make a million coats because that's my thing. But that still needs oil, but I will mess around with this later. Let's find some scissors. All right, let me unplug this thing. This is a score, though. I utterly and completely scored, and I still can't believe it. One of the reasons I went so crazy in Las Vegas is because I signed up for some scheme. They're like, hey, if you give me your email and your ID, every time you purchase something, it's half off on certain days. What I didn't know, it was that day. So once I figured it out, I went a little crazy purchasing things in Las Vegas. In every Goodwill I went to, everything was half off. They wanted an insane amount of money for the table, and I paid $27. So I'm stoked. And in a weird way, it was 10 times cheaper than anything I would ever pay for in Los Angeles, ever. Customer service is really terrible where I live. And I'm not even saying that as an indictment. I'm not saying that as me looking down at people or anything. So when you go to Las Vegas, even in the good world, they're like, "Hi, how are you doing? Do you need help?" It's crazy. It's crazy compared to where I live, where they're like, "The stuff's over there." Oh, right. Let me check on this machine. I have definitely been neglecting this poor machine. And I think that's one of the draws to a place like Las Vegas is that they treat you like gold. And so someone like me keeps on coming back, even to thrift stores. I will say it was a little strange going to Savers because I'd never been to one. It was definitely an experience. And they have huge ones there. We have large thrift stores. By my house, there's a huge thrift store. But this was a warehouse. And it was strangely overwhelming. Make sure I plugged in the right machine. Perfect. So I've kind of fallen in love with the pants that I made last time, but they were a little too tight. So I'm gonna make another pair of pants this time, and I'm gonna take all of my dimensions into consideration because that was the problem last time. And the funny thing is, I don't even know where I made a right or a left, but the backside was way too tight. So when I put it on, there was a, and it was because I completely forgot to. I don't know what step I skipped, but we're gonna figure it out. And you know what? My weight goes up and down, and my dimensions do too, and that's okay. In my 40s, I've become weirdly body positive where I'm accepting of my body, but sometimes I forget my dimensions. So there's always a mistake. And you know what the funny thing is? It's been a long time since I've made a mistake making a pair of pants. So I had to laugh. That's why I muted myself last time I made the pants, because I was in here laughing, screaming, and horrified all in the same breath. And I'm one of those people where I don't give myself a hard time if my dimensions go up. I just change them and don't say anything. Awesome. But I think it's important to be okay with who you are. I know it's one of those boring subjects, but I'm one of those people who have become weirdly okay with who I am because I'm in my 40s. And let me tell you, I'm not getting taller, but I'm going this way. So last time when I made those pants, it reminded me that my dimensions have changed. Perfect. Let me check my notes. Do you know, it's amazing. The grocery store is an amazing place. Walmart, all those places. But I ran out of coffee. And it's crazy, the stuff that I purchased at the grocery store. Like, I needed drinks and stuff. But it made me laugh because I dropped off my son at his class. And I'm like, all right, William, you only have a certain amount of time. And then I got to the counter and I was like, how did I get all of this stuff? And I've only been here for like 5 or 6 minutes, you know? But of course, I needed more drinks because it's hot and I'm drinking a lot of water. I bought more bottled water and all kinds of things. And of course, coffee. And then I bought a tub. Hey, how's it going? Rah, rah, hello, hello. Hey, happy maker. Great to see you. Great to see you. I hope everything is going well for you. Skits, how are you holding up in Northern California? So I went to the store and so last week my son bought chocolate ice cream and it reminded me how much I love chocolate ice cream. I bought a tub. I bought a tub of chocolate ice cream. And to all my old school people, I bought a literal tub with the handle. Yay, hello, everybody. Great to see everybody. I'm making pants right now. Speaking of eating a tub of ice cream, the last pair, I didn't take my dimensions into consideration, so I'm definitely taking my dimensions into consideration this time. Yay. Hello, So Brown, get on up. Man, those songs get you. Those songs grab you. James Brown grabs you. It's really strange what YouTube allows as far as music and what they do not allow. Because I have a really eclectic view on music. I will listen to anything that makes my foot tap. So I like all kinds of music, and it's really interesting. There are certain eras it lets through and certain eras that it does not at all. It's the strangest thing. Yay! Hello, everybody. Great to see everybody. Kilroy, is always great to see you. Great to see you. Picking up a burrito. Oh, you know what's so funny, Skits? I had a breakfast burrito for dinner. I had a lot of running around to do. Today was definitely like the soccer mom, soccer dad duty. My kid's school is coming back sooner than later. We were getting school supplies, doing a lot of running around. And so I didn't have time to cook today. So it was breakfast burrito. Yay! Hello, Andrea. Hello. Great to see you. Great to see you. I always get the 1 gallon tubs 10 years ago when I was in one of those overstock discount grocery stores and found a 2 gallon tub of vanilla ice cream. That was a lot of fun. I'm just at the age of acceptance. I was like, well, I really like chocolate ice cream and not sharing. Yay, great to see you. Great to see you. I hope your evening is going well. Yay. I'm discussing the ins and outs of being an adult and having the power to buy a tub of ice cream, even though you shouldn't always buy a tub of ice cream. Awesome. Yay. Hello. I had to hop in a hot bath. I've been sleeping weird lately and my shoulders and neck hurt. So it's definitely a hot bath and Thailand all the time. You know, I sleep like this. I wake up in the weirdest positions. I'm fully convinced that I do yoga in my sleep. I'm one of those people, like if they told me that I had like RLS or something, I would believe them. It's the strangest thing. I wake up and I'm literally 360. Or I'm like sideways and I'm like, I wonder how I got here. So I completely understand. Get the inhaler. He's coughing up both. I'm ready. I have my inhaler right here. But it made me laugh because I really wasn't into sweets, and something happened last year around October where I didn't stop eating candy. I kept eating ice cream. I don't know, something happened. I think I started enjoying life. All right, let me turn this inside out. This gray is actually kind of fierce as well. But this pattern, I really didn't have that much of it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make pants. I'm definitely going to make pants. I'm calling this pink, but I don't know what you would call that. Magenta. I have no idea. Keep in mind, I've been accused of being colorblind quite a few times. It could be bright orange. Or maybe like a deep purple kind of. I don't know. Absolutely, Kilroy. Absolutely. As someone who doesn't sleep well, it really affects your life. And of course, I had to do things you should never do and Googled my symptoms, and now I'm having to tell myself, no, I'm not hurt. Oh, okay. As somebody who overdiagnosed, the worst thing that you can do is go online and Google your symptoms because you're going to think that like you're in your last days. I've been like that since the WebMD days. Oh man. There was one time I fully convinced myself that I had type 2 diabetes. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh, not WebMD. The good old days. The good old days of WebMD. This is when it first came out. And I came with papers. I was like, I printed out, look, I have all these symptoms. They were like, let's take a blood test. Needless to, oh, I can't say it without getting weak and laughing. But needless to say, I did not have type 2 diabetes. Self-diagnosing is the worst. Oh, WebMD gave me plenty of freak. I'm laughing because I was scared. This is when I lived in Oregon. I got in my car. I drove like 30 minutes to the doctor. To city people, that's crazy because the doctor is like, a train ride or a bus ride away. But like, I got in the car. I was on the highway, scared. Oh, I've learned not to Google my symptoms. And like, to quote my grandmother, are you a professional? Are you a professional? She used to always say that, and it's true. Let me switch my angle. But needless to say, if anything hurts, I self-diagnose. So for as much as I just told that story, to each their own. All right. Let me line this up. I've made these a little bit bigger because, like I said last time, the pants, I don't know why I didn't take my backside into consideration. So I've made the dimensions a little bit bigger. And I'm still in my Janko era. I think I'm probably going to make another pair of Janko jeans. That style is still going strong in my neighborhood. I don't know why. It's weird to me. I hang out with my son all the time. Well, it's summer, he's not in school. And I hang out with my mom, and I have a funny story about that as well. But long story short, when I see kids they're wearing Jankos. They're literally dressed like it's 1990, like it's 1993, 4, 5, So it just makes me laugh how reciprocal style is. So the wide leg pants are back like it's the 70s, and I'm here for it all day. Do people dress like that where you live, or is it only because I live in LA and people are trying to be trendy? Are people wearing Jankos in PA? Are they wearing Jankos in other places? The other day at the swap meet, and I do not take pictures of people, but I saw a kid that was wearing an exact outfit of how I used to dress back in the day. Ooh, that was a disaster. But I do not take pictures of people like that because I think that's strange. But how do people dress where you live? Or is it like the only like there are certain places, like I've been in New York, and there's I should say Manhattan, and they're stylish in Manhattan. I don't see anyone wearing Jacobs here. Hey, Alibaba, how's it going? How's it going? Those would be perfect for Canada though, because you can wear all your long johns and a pair of pants under your Jankos. So I would think that's perfect. I would think that's absolutely perfect for Canada. Ollie, you would have laughed at me. When I lived in Oregon, I was layered all the time, even during the summer. I always felt cold, and that's what killed my dream of living in Alaska. I've talked about it a million times. I had this huge dream, like this romantic view of me out in the woods with my own cabin, which I would have lost it. But I had this view, and then I moved to Oregon and realized, man, I wouldn't survive the winter in Alaska. Yay. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Great to see you, Alibaba. Great to see you. You missed it. I actually applied real sewing machine oil to a brother sewing machine. It's still kind of clacky. When I'm off stream, I'm gonna pop off a few pieces and add more oil to it. But the oil actually worked. All right, those parts are pinned. But with this weird magenta color or whatever this is right back to like 1990s wrestler pants. Or who knows, maybe I'm starting a trend or something. Perfect. I had to get that one pin in just to make sure I can line everything up. But how's everybody doing this evening? What are you guys sewing? What are we hiding from? What are we watching? Oh, perfect. Like my sewing room is a place where I come. That's why I do not talk about politics, because this is my happy place. I come in here to no Janko's here. That's so weird. I picture people in certain areas dressing certain ways. That's so weird. But style is funny that way. I watch a lot of videos about fashion, and a lot of the time it's either Florida, New York, or LA. And most of the time it's New York, where they'll walk up to somebody and be like, hey, what are you wearing? You really couldn't do that in where I live, because people would be like, my pants are from Walmart, my shirt I got at my job. But it always makes me laugh when someone's wearing, and I know a lot of it's a setup, but not too many people wear designer clothes like that here. So it's a lot of people wear Jankos. We dress down because it's hot here all the time. All right, I'm gonna sew the bottom pieces, and then I think I should go with a darker thread than what. Should I leave my white thread in? They get packed with mud and pretty nasty pretty quick around here. Jankos are definitely a town or in city fashion. Absolutely. I have some nice clothes, but they all come from the Goodwill. Same. I have donned myself the Goodwill cowboy because I work on a ranch, and most of my clothes come from the Goodwill. So that is the nickname that I call myself. For the same reason. And a lot of my clothes get ripped or like, when I wear a shirt, I really sweat in that thing. So I don't have time for a $50 shirt. Which, I'm not judging anybody that does wear a $50 shirt. No judgment here. What did I do with my phone? There it is. A long time ago, he's a grown man now, but I call him a kid. There was someone who used to work with me, and we were literally digging ditches. We were digging these giant irrigation ditches, and he shows up to the meeting, and everyone's kind of looking at him. He was wearing like designer jeans. And we're like, dude, we're literally going to go dig ditches and you're wearing $300 pair of jeans. And still to this day, everyone talks about it. They're like, are you wearing $300 jeans? It's a thing at my job now. And I don't think there's anything wrong with shopping at the Goodwill in any way, shape, or form. In the modern era, to at least to me, that stigma is gone. And I don't know, I get a lot of people might have something to say about that on the complete opposite scale, but to me, the modern day stigma of the Goodwill is gone. It's not like back in the day, if you had pay less shoes, people would make fun of you. And to me, that's the cruelest thing on earth. That is the cruelest thing on earth, because Payless had some good shoes, man. They had some awesome shoes. The crickets are out because the temperature is perfect. Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's 80. It is perfect. I've seen it a couple of times. I've asked, and they got it from Goodwill, Sally, and Thrift. But also, I kind of grew up in a culture of people that were misers. So, like, my parents were like, let's go to the thrift store. But it's smart because they saved money because they had an army of children. So, I don't think there's anything wrong. Or, like, there was this place I used to go to when I was a kid. Who didn't even know what they were worth. Oh, that's so funny. I've seen a couple of times. I've asked them for. That's another thing I find all kinds of amazing things where I'm like, oh, I used to get work shoes at Payless. I love all those places, but because of the way I was raised, I never thought there was a stigma until I went to school. And then it was in junior high and high school, I learned the hierarchy of clothes. Like if you had Nikes or Pumas, I'm aging myself, or those really old school Reeboks, you were in. Around here, Aldi and Goodwill used the place that you went if you were broke, but also could get EBT. Now they're just normal places, but with much lower prices. You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Payless, I miss Payless. That was another thing. A long time ago, I shot gunite, which basically means that I would seal pools. And it wasn't anything fancy. It's a hardcore job, but I would run through shoes, and boots are expensive, so I would go to Payless. I miss that. I absolutely miss that, and I would run through boots. But again, I'm not judgmental like that. Like, I don't know. I would wear, but I go looking for off-brand things. Like I have a fake Nolan Ryan jersey, which still to this day I think is the weirdest thing on earth. Like I'm not a snob in that sense. And the funny thing is, a long time ago, I had a really good friend who took me to either the Prada, Gucci, or one of those stores in Santa Barbara, California. And it was weird. She was buying all this stuff. They really catered towards both of us. But it was the strangest experience to see a pair of pants for $600 or a purse for like $5 or $6 grand. And those were the cheap ones. I wore Walmart shoes until I was in my teens, and Doc said that if I kept on wearing cheap shoes, I'd get plantar fasciitis. Then it was New Balance from JCPenney's. I still have my grill shoes in here right now. Where are those things? They're close because it's grilling season. Do you know what's funny? It wasn't until I got online did I know that people, that it was a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. I wear these when I grill. These are my no joke. We're gonna eat today. When I grill for real. So you need comfortable shoes. But I don't think there's anything wrong with New Balance at all in any way, shape, or form. But it makes me laugh when I see those videos of people wearing New Balance, and I'm like, I have those. Where I live, all these are considered the suburban mom mecca, definitely not the poor store. I used to be embarrassed to carry bags from when I was younger. I know what you know what though? I went through that too because my parents were upper middle class and my dad was a dumpster diver. My dad always had nice cars, nice trucks. He loved going dumpster diving. But to his credit, my first drum set, I picked a full drum set out of the trash, which sent me down a path of love for music. Absolutely, I love my New Balance. See, Alibaba and I are the same. I love my shoes. I was like, people are making fun of my shoes online. Those are, and they make me tall too. We all know I am 5'9". I call my cowboy boots my Shatners. My New Balance, they put me up there with everybody. I think it's because I live around all tall people. I really do. Everyone around here is like 6 feet and above. They renovated the Aldi around me and got rid of the empty box cage. That pissed me off. I like putting groceries in the boxes from the box cage. I'm going to tell you, in my desk, I can't say that without laughing. If you had anything going on in your life, we would raid the box cage. I miss the box cage in front of the store on the main boulevard by my house. Anytime people would be like, oh, what are we going to do? Man, let's get in the car. Let's go to the box cage and get a bunch of boxes like when they're moving. Oh, those are good memories. Those are absolutely hilarious memories. We definitely have one of those around here as well. You know what though? Like, I don't know. I just never had any stigma behind that. I was embarrassed with certain things, but like, and that's one thing. I never raised my kid in a snobbish way. Man, he grew up going to the Goodwill. He knows every thrift store in the valley. When I walk in, they're like, where's your son? Because they remember this little boy and this grown man walks in with me. So, and like me, he loves cheap Chinese food. Power just flickered, so if I drop out, you know why. Oh, I know that feeling. They've been doing a lot of work in my neighborhood, and I was sitting here the other day, and I have a monitor or two in here, and all of a sudden everything started spinning, and I'm like, what? They randomly just shut off the internet completely, and all my neighbors were just kind of walked out and were like, oh, so we have to talk to each other now? We have to interact with each other. What is this human interaction where we're not all hiding in our houses? But I live near one of the main hubs, and it's funny how they're always working by my house. I don't know. I didn't know where the stigma around so much of this stuff I took for granted. I just grew up semi-broke, and after that, I just kept on doing it because I love saving money. I didn't really know there was a stigma behind certain things, and I will not say my friend's name. Somebody that I absolutely love. This was like this was like 7 or 8 years ago. A friend of mine had never been to the Goodwill. And I go all the time. If I see one, I'm diverting and driving into one. I was bored. And I remember we're in the parking lot and she's like, I've never been to a Goodwill before. And I looked at her like, are you crazy? But to some people, there is that stigma, Man, the crickets are chirping this evening. Oh, man. So to anyone who hasn't heard me say this a million times, my house is infested with crickets. I mean, they're in the door jam. I'm not kidding you. I recently, like, I'm always replacing the vent for my air conditioner. I opened it up and there were crickets in the lining of the vent. So my house is infested with crickets. Yikes, we just had 8-hour power outage for maintenance. They're replacing the poles to prevent wildfires. They do that around here. They do. It drives me crazy. And also, where I live, the infrastructure is old in the sense where if anything hits it, it starts a fire. So they've been replacing everything in it. And I'm trying not to like look down and be like, why are you taking away my modern day conveniences? Because they're trying to fix a problem. So I'm trying not to be a baby about it. But yes, my house is infested with crickets. And I've said this a gajillion times. At first, I was like, oh, crickets are so beautiful. They're serene. I enjoyed them. And here it is 15 years later, and these bugs are just yelling at me. Some of the wood poles in LA were from 1906, and then another batch were from 1920s. You know what's so funny? You can tell. You can tell because they have actual tar, like real tar on them. And nowadays, they really don't, as somebody who knows way more about poles than I'm letting out, as far as the power system, keep your mind out of the gutter. Long story short, they are no longer made with tar. It's weird, especially when you go downtown. You can look at the poles and you can tell which ones are over 100 years old. I'm trying to not be a baby about it too. I'm a baby. Underneath my fabric, I have 2 portable generators that nothing else I can plug in my phone, and I'm like this, like, oh, I'm glad I still have minutes. Or whatever it is, because I'm going off the network, So for as much as I claim to be Trapper Joe, the second the power goes out, I have all kinds of weird generators and all kinds of things in here. Oh, so I'm a big baby. You know what it is? The first time the power went out and I experienced it with my son being here, it was a life-changing experience for me because my son freaked out and I watched my son go through withdrawals from the internet. And I was like, oh no, we're old school. Like, we can do without the internet. So from that moment on, it kind of encouraged me to have activities in my son's life that were internet free. Because from the first time the power went out, I watched him, like, he was physically like, what do we do? And I'm like, dude, look up. Because we live in the city, you can never see the Milky Way. Every time the grid goes down, all of a sudden you can see where you are in the universe. All of a sudden you know where you are. The you are there sign is right in front of your face, Oh, Brea tar pits illegal to use for a long time. It's all over the place. It's all over LA. And if you know what to look for, they're everywhere. We went through a 4-day outage this spring because of a mega storm that went through the region. They had to set 1,000 new poles and run thousands of miles of power like crazy. That's job security, though. We had no hot water. Plumber came to change 160 to brush the reset button. Mona, you know what? Do not feel bad. I know all kinds of things about construction. I do all kinds of crazy things for a living. I recently got my air conditioner fixed. I paid $500 for a guy to clean a filter and to push a button. So don't feel bad. And he even showed me how to do it. He's like, look, man, I'll show you. I feel bad, but I have to charge you $500. Oh. I'm a big baby without power. I like it cool. Same. I'm the same. Without, I can deal without power. Without water, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. If I don't have running water, I am leaving and going somewhere where they do have running water. $1 to push the button, 115 high to know that it's needed to be pushed. That's the worst. Where's my water? I need some water. That is the worst. He taught me a lesson though, and the funny thing is, where's my he felt so bad for me. He gave me a patch, and I truly consider it my $500 patch. I have to show it off now. Oh. Because my air conditioning unit is in this room, and what are we sewing tonight? I'm sewing a pair of pants, and they're this weird I don't know if I called it pink, but I've been accused of being colorblind. Kind of fuchsia. It's really weird synthetic tweed. Really weird synthetic tweed. I'm still in my tweed era. I was late and I missed it. No worries. Hey, Ty, how's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. Awesome. Awesome. Great to see you, Ty. Yay. Hello, hello. Synthetic tweed is thick. I line everything, and so it's weird to me to not line something, but this is thick. My mom knew to push button, but only knew gas heater, not electric. I should have just went down and started pressing everything. I like that attitude, Mona. That is my motto. When in doubt, just start. And I'm serious. And I have licenses for a couple of things. We call that troubleshooting in the field. We don't have running water when the power goes out because we're on a well water. That's the worst. That was the one thing that saved us during the 94 earthquake, is that we had running water. That was the one thing that saved us. But after a while, it would come out and smell like bleach because they were putting so many bleach tablets in the water. It was coming. It was strange times. It looks like a magenta or fuchsia, maybe plum in a lower light. And that's another thing. I'm purchasing when I purchase this stuff, it's in direct sunlight. I'm like, that looks pink. Grab it. It probably is fuchsia. Yay! Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm having a problem with my eye. Looks fuchsia. I think because I'm right up on it, it looks pink. But again, I'm not kidding you. I could be colorblind in a way. Or I just need to put my glasses on. Perfect. One of the greatest chefs I've ever known had no sense of smell. So you never know. I could be completely colorblind, and everything in here could be a completely different color than I think. And I could just be wearing funky combinations, and everyone's just really nice to me. That would have been first button I pushed. Oh, that reminds me of my $500 button. You totally reminded me of that. Oh. When I'm out of power, I panic. Do you know what's really funny? I've been like that since I was a kid. That's why I've purchased a ton of weird generators. I have ones that were like, that you really shouldn't have. They're basically a car battery with a bunch of plugs on it. I have all kinds of crazy generators because I don't like it when the power goes out either. At all. I have a bunch of fire pits in my backyard that, like, when we have extended power outages, I'm like, all right, let's go hang out in the backyard. It could be your camera too. Different cameras can make colors look different in real life. I agree. And this camera is different than that one, It does make everything look completely different. Oh man, the crickets are chirping this evening. So a while ago, I paid $500 out to get a tutorial on how to clean my let's see if I can find it. I have it with all of my flag patches. But the guy felt so sorry for me. He gave me a patch, and still to this day I call it my $500 patch. Because apparently it costs $500 for him to come to my house and tell me how to clean a filter out. Oh, where are you? I was about to give them a plug and everything. But it made me laugh. Oh, because every once in a while I'm like, oh, I'm going to wear that thing. And I pull it out and I'm like, I'm not. I'll find it. It's a Liberty. It's a Liberty something, blah, blah, blah. Because everything here is like rah. I'll find it. I'll find it another day. But that patch cost me $500. Oh, good times. When I took care of my grandma, power went out. My grandpa, he sat there flipping flashlights on and off for hours. That's me. Last night's thunderstorm was wild. I hope you're okay. It's been crazy here. When I drove back from Vegas, I was driving into a thunderstorm. It was strange. It's a strange experience. We had storms, but I slept through it. That's like, we've had a lot of earthquakes lately, and I'm like, really? And I'm on this weird seismic alert thing, and it tells me all the time, there's an earthquake, and I'm like, okay, good. I thought that was indigestion or something. If the power goes out for too long, I start to worry about the fridge and freezers. And if it's during winter, I worry about the heat. But I have a fireplace. I grew up chopping wood for heat, so I'm good. Absolutely. I still have firewood on the side of my house. We had a T-storm here today. Crazy. I have a 500 pen from the doctors. Exactly, happy makers. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm still mad about that. But again, I will never make that mistake again. I actually recently cleaned that filter out. And it's so easy. It was the easiest thing on earth. I'm terrified of the dark. Such a wuss. You know what though? It's intense when the power goes out and all of a sudden you're in the dark. More than once, I've been sitting in my house by myself and the power will go out when I'm in the shower. I watched a lot of horror movies as a kid. My mind goes crazy. The last time it happens, I almost broke my hip because I jumped out of my shower. Oh, good times. Good times. I know the feeling, happy maker. I know the feeling. Looks like upholstery fabric. This one vendor I go to, everything he gets are from old businesses. So it probably is upholstery fabric. A lot of it's drapes. I actually have the maker's mark. Here we go. This is called, the pattern is called Edison and the color is Electron. This is the actual maker's mark. I keep everything. I'm such a geek. I keep like in this came with this fabric, but the second I was like, at least I can identify it. It's English on here, but I understand half of it. Let me catch up with the chat. Yay! Hi, Pam. Only thing that sucks about the dark is that I can't read, and it's harder to know where to put my lighter to light my pipe. That's why you got to get a church warden's pipe, and you just do this. Yay! I don't do complete darkness. Ty, could you imagine? I'm telling you, last time the power went out, I was in the shower. And then all of a sudden, the scary movie started playing in my head. And I was like, uh-uh. But I'm telling you, sometimes it's more of you. Like, I mess with myself. I told you, when I'm by myself, man, I hear one knock. I'm like, what's that? Especially when I'm sitting here all peaceful. And then something happens and I'm like, whoa. I live next to a freeway. We get tire blowouts of big rigs all the time. When people who aren't used to it, the first time they hear it, they're like, what is that? We have giant retaining walls. So the sound, the sound bounces up the wall and you'll hear this boom, 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 boom. Oh, good times. All right. Handy that you can find more similar. Absolutely. Do you know what? They put a copyright strike on that song. I'm so mad. I tried to put it on my shorts. YouTube is so strange. YouTube and I need to have a talk about music because I do not understand their terms and service. That's why you're going to live forever. Ty. Don't look behind you. Do you know, I've said this before. Recently I purchased a brand new RAV4, and long story short, and my mom drives it, but long story short, I drive it from time to time. The car tells you there's something in the back seat. I'm by myself. And the car's like, there's something in the back seat. The first time I opened up the front door and then I looked in the back seat. I had to laugh at myself. It took me forever to get used to the trains rolling by here at night. Absolutely. I watched way too many scary movies. I should have listened to my parents and they told me not to. As a child, these new cars are crazy. And I didn't notice it. My mom told me, she's like, no, dude, the car, like, if you swerve, the car pulls you straight. All kinds of crazy stuff. The car talks to you. Don't tell me. I always have bags. I'm a habitual shopper. I'm man enough to admit it. I always go to the Goodwill. If it has discount in the name and I drive by, I'm like, oh, let me take a look. I love Ross. I love a good dollar store. So I'm always shopping. There's always a bag, and the car will say there's something in the back seat. Absolutely. I am not a fan. of this new age car that talks to you. And now that we have reached the complaint department, when I drove to Vegas, because I really I drive my Ford Flex, but I'm getting a new window tomorrow. Finally, the window's in. When I drove the RAV4 to Vegas, I've never been in a car with a giant screen. It has like a 15, almost 20-inch screen, and it's lit up the entire time I was driving. It was strange. It was a strange experience. My Ford says the back seat has something in it. I was not used to it. I don't like talking cars. Thank you. It's been driving me nuts. I don't give free rides to goes. Oh, it's been driving me nuts. I hate what my car says. There's a front passenger. It's a purse. Thank you. I carry all kinds of crazy stuff, car. I'm glad that I am not. You guys are making me feel better. I am so mad at that car. My daughter has that. Driver assistance scares the crap out of me. It just steers. Thank you. When I was in Vegas, the car, I'm like, what is going on? I'm wrestling with the wheel, and I don't want to break the car because I'm a bit old school, like Neanderthal. So I didn't want to be like, what's wrong? Oh, these new cars. The new vehicles are glitchy. All vehicles sound even big. It's so glitchy. It drives me insane. Ah, I knew I had to switch to a smaller purse when mine was making the car think a kid was in the front seat. I missed the diaper bag. When my son had a diaper bag, man, I would shove so much stuff in there. I'd have water bottles, snacks for everybody. Oh, I miss the little guy days. My Boy Scout kicked in. Man, when my son was little, my inner Boy Scout, I was like, all right, we need snacks, we need Band-Aid. The huge screen is meant for city driving. I hate my. Thank you. It's so distracting, and I have never been in that car for long distance. I eventually phased it out, but it drove me crazy. Mine tells me to pull over and take a coffee break. Do you know, Andrea, that was so absurd. I need my inhaler on that. If my car told me to pull over and take a coffee break, I'd be like, excuse me, car. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. I just want a VW bug, but very simple and easy to work on. I miss those cars. A good friend of mine when I was a kid, he had a I think it was a 1969. I think it was a 1969. That car was a step above a lawnmower. I loved that thing. Oh, don't tell me what to do, car. I see, I get in arguments with the car. I'm like, do not talk to me, car. I rode with my boyfriend and with my BF, sorry, with my BF in her new smart car, and it threw me off. It tightened my seat. No. Hold on. Let me show my face. Do not tighten my seatbelt. Do not. I would freak out if something tightened my seatbelt. Again, I would think something's going on. Best friend. I'm sorry, Ty. I'm sorry. I would, if something, man, I have breathing issues. Do not mess with anything from here on. Speaking of which, I was in a major car accident years ago, and that seatbelt injury is real. I had a stripe like Worf for months, months and months, but always wear your seatbelt. Dude, my asthma has been so bad this week too. We've had a lot of fires lately, so it's put me out. I'm old school. This reminds me of high school. I'm walking around with my inhaler. I have all my inhalers. I have my breathing machine here. It's been bad because we've had a ton of fires. I'm driving the country in Canada away from like pollution and large moves. I want to see the moose instead of glare from my lower right eyesight. I apologize. It looks like a Chinese company is trying to move into the huge hole that our car makers have made. They want to sell cheap, basic, no frills electric car. I still have been looking into the logistics of getting one of those Chinese or whatever those small $2,000 trucks. People at my job are like, "Are you crazy?" I think it's because I watched you. Like, it's been hot, so we've been watching a lot of YouTube at my job. We make those already, Kilroy. And they're illegal in Texas and all these places. I kind of want to get one before they're illegal here. They really don't advertise them at all. I don't know why. Well, when you make money, like sometimes you don't have to advertise. You don't have to be. I'm making pans, so I'm basically almost done. But a lot of the magic is when you're hemming and doing other things, when it comes to making pans. Man, I can tell the temperature is dropping because my nose is getting stuffed. It's so crazy. It goes from being hot to being in the 70s. It's desert life. Oh, now that everybody's here, the oh man, the sneezer came back. No, I'm sorry, the cougher came back and sneezed today without covering up. Are adding pockets? Any pockets? Yo no entiende pockets. Maybe. I was thinking about adding a zipper in the front, but I'm thinking about going full leisure pants. Excuse me. Oh man, the air has been so bad here. Oh, perfect. Mm-mm. Beautiful. Man, the crickets are going off right now. It's their time of year. And the funny thing is, if you can hear them, they're not outside. I have my door closed. So if you hear the crickets, they are literally in my house hanging out. Sometimes I think it's the sound of the sewing machine attracts them. I have no idea. They don't fight. Oh, they don't fight the fires anymore than they used to in the 70s and 80s. Way more ground crews back then. We have armies here. That's actually a really controversial subject where I live because we use prisoners to fight fires in California. My mama turned down me snatching her. Oh, that's the worst. Find out what kind it is. You got to sell it. It's going to a better home. I'm going to make something magic, You know what? There's been people I know my entire life that still have their sewing stuff and will not give it to me. There's quite a few people I know like that. Oh, I will only lend my mom specific ones. Mine punks me. Mine walks in here and is like, I need this fixed. I gave you life. My mom goes straight for the guilt. That reminds. So my mother and I we don't look alike. We do not. If you saw us standing next to each other, you would think we're strangers. And recently, my mom can't even sew a button on a button. It's funny, Mona. My dad was the one who sewed. My grandmother, her mother, was a seamstress. My grandmother is the one who actually still inspires me to this day. But my mom hated ironing. I think that's why she taught me at a young age how to crease my jeans and everything. She hated all of it. So she loved the fact that my dad would sew and stuff like that. So she's used to walking up to somebody and being like, fix this. But people always think that my mom is somebody else. And then they're shocked when they're like, because they want to be polite. They're always like, oh, who's that woman that you hang out with? And I'm like, that's my mom. So I come from good stock where they think that my mom is my age. There's been quite a few people who have asked me, I'm not trying to be rude, but is that your wife or something? And I'm like, that's my mom. but she has youth on her side. So she looks young. It just makes me laugh. It happened today where somebody was like, where's that person you hang out with all the time? I was like, that's my mother. My mom could sew, but never did it much. Dad was in the army, and they teach you basic stuff like sewing buttons and patches in the army. Absolutely. Absolutely. My dad was raised by his mother and grandmother, so he loved sewing. He even knew how to use a treadle and all that, but he grew up in the old school Ray Charles kind of old school. Oh, good times. But it gave me hope for the future that hopefully I age as slowly as my mother. But people's assumptions are always hilarious. It's always hilarious when people make assumptions. Just because I hang out with somebody, it could be my cousin or my neighbor. Oh, and then she always gets a kick out of it. She always laughs because she's like, oh, they think I'm young. Oh. Not fighting the wildfires as it intensely prevents large wildfires in the long term. California's program of put them out ASAP just ensures that you get massive wildfires every year. It's actually quite controversial because we use prisoners, and I am a bit of a tree hugger, and I think it's wrong. But they dangle freedom in front of people. They teach them a skill, but the fire department doesn't hire these people. So it's a big deal. Where I live, it's a big deal because we have armies. Ooh, wrong camera. We have armies of people who fight fires, and they don't get compensation. They used to do burns up here. They do up north. It was the strangest thing to me when I lived in Stockton, California. It was the strangest thing to me, and they were like, "Oh, it's burn season." And I would be like, are you out of your mind? But it does prevent. It helps prevent fires, as Smokey said. But I don't know. Am I too much of a bleeding heart? Is it wrong to use prisoners to put out fires? Black Oak needs to fight and live and the new oaks to grow. New oaks to grow. I think it's wrong. It's a weird form of slavery, if you ask me. But there are up the street from my job. There are at least 2 camps, so they're right by me. I mean, right by me. And they do keep Southern California safe, but they're literal fire camps. And CBS had a show and they tried to romanticize it. I guarantee you it's nothing like the show. I have Paramount Plus, so I gave it a try, but because I'm from the area they were talking about, I couldn't watch it. Yay, thank you, Ty. Thank you. I think it's okay for prisoners to work on that. Okay. If you're in jail, you should be learning something like carpentry or metalwork or something like that. Getting a degree with a correspondence course, not being used as a discount crappy firefighter. Thank you. It used to be that people would come out of jail with like an AA or, like something they could use. Which I don't care what anyone says. If you have any kind of degree here, you're still coveted. But anyways, I think it's strange that we have armies of them. I see them all the time because I'm on the tractor in the front field all the time. And especially this time of year, if there's any fire, they have these really weird green trucks, and they're specific because they have bars on the window. Oh, and so they're not hard to miss because you see them driving by, and they literally are these giant green trucks with bars on the window. But again, like I said, I'm a total tree hugging, like, hey, what are you doing kind of guy, you know? Alibaba thinks that we should use prisoners. Kilroy thinks that we shouldn't. There was I can't remember where she was from, but there was a representative somewhere in California. There was a very famous hearing, and she was crying, and she's like, we're legalizing slavery. And basically that's what it is, because they were trying to get rid of the firefighters and they voted to keep them. So don't get arrested in LA County. You will become a firefighter, whether you want to or not. Oh, all right. Let me finish these pants. I am almost done. It's one of those weird things though. I'm not I don't even know how to feel about it anymore. And like I said, I work near these people. Wherever their fire camp is, they come with hundreds of trucks. They're somewhere up the canyon somewhere. But there's also a work release program that we use because they show up with their own weed whackers. They show up with their own facilities and everything. And they cut down in one day, they will literally cut down 4 or 5 acres with weed whackers. And it's a work release program. Is that wrong? I kind of look at it like slavery. People were at my job, people get paid $35 an hour to do that. And we go in when it's hot. So I don't know. Is that like, I don't know. It's weird. It's one of those weird areas. The ones that got out and I have worked with have done work like that. They say it brought a strange meaning to their life. Others, even nature. Once that clicked, they started making better for themselves. You know what? And that's another thing. I know somebody that the exact opposite of that happened. I think that's the problem, is that I knew somebody that was in a fire camp for almost basically my son's entire life. And then when he got out, he didn't last like 48 hours. Work helps give purpose. I agree. No, I agree. I constantly say that hobbies save lives. I constantly say that. But that's because hobbies have saved my life. Like when I was in my 20s, I went surfing, but really what it was is I was traveling. I went up and down the West Coast. It showed me all kinds of beautiful things I would have never seen if I just sat around. So I am a firm believer that hobbies save life, or even reading. I love reading. I'm so stoked. At the San Fernando Valley swap meet, I bought Neil deGrasse Tyson's astrophysics for people in a hurry. I have listened to this book on YouTube for years. I fall asleep to it. I'm finally going to read it and retain the knowledge. Yay. It does. I watched all your videos and the singer Tiny Taylor, and still struggling to get mine to work. It seems like I'm struggling with getting the top thread to engage with the bobbin thread. Okay, hold on. You said Tiny Taylor. Let me grab it really quick and show you. Oh man, this thing is dusty. Okay. So unfortunately on these have the most intricate little metal clip inside of here. You have to get the thread inside of the metal clip. I know it sounds crazy. One time it took me over 100 tries. That's why I'm an expert at this. I am a mini sewing machine professional here to help you. You have to get it in that little metal piece or it will not catch. So if you don't get it in that little metal piece, I know it sounds crazy, but you have to keep on trying to thread the bobbin. That is one of the biggest problems with with this particular year, because it's a metal bob. It's a plastic bobbin case with a metal clip. Is that the Driver Shuttle? Nope. But I'm not kidding you. Here, let me grab a bobbin and a duster. Man, that thing is this thing. This is part of the mothball fleet that Kilroy was talking about. Let me dust this off a little bit. I am here to help. All right, let me get a bobbin. These things are impossible to thread. This is actually a big problem with these machines. And they try to make it better every year, and it doesn't. You mean between the plastic piece and the middle part, right? I followed the manual and feel like I did that, but maybe I did it wrong. I'm new, and thank you for help. By the way, it means a lot. No worries. No, for real. I am here. I am here to help. That was like one of the biggest problems on those machines in general. I need to. It's so funny because I've been going through all my stuff. I'm thinking about re-releasing my how to thread tiny sewing machines, because it's a weird specialty of mine. But I'm serious. It's just that little metal piece, and I'm not kidding you. Once you get it in, you will be sewing in peace until the bobbin runs out. Trying to see the thread tensioner or pinched. Oh, that's true. It check to see if the metal is pinched next to the plastic. Alibaba is the real professional. Wonder if that would help. Absolutely. I had tensioned so many pre-1900 machines. Absolutely. Hey, how's it going? Great to see you. Awesome. What are we watching tonight? Night Court. I am obsessed with late 80s, early 90s television. So this is Night Court. Now I have the theme song stuck in my head. But seriously, if you have any questions about mini sewing machines, please let me know. Don't be shy. I own any mini sewing machine I can get my hand on. From those really cheap ones that are modern. I have a 1980s Singer Merit. Of course, the M1000. And they're all Singer. Well, the brand name ones are all Singer. Awesome. I'm almost done with these pants. But seriously, if you have any other questions, please let me know. All right. Wow. I busted out the tiny Taylor. I need to find the power cord for this guy. Awesome. These pants are going to be amazing. Let's make sure I have enough in my bobbin. I do. Just recognize the Master Chief in the background. Heck yeah, dude. Do you ever use him as a mannequin? No. Master Chief is huge. He is huge, but he's like, I can't remember the name of the video game store, but there's a video game store that went out of business. And long story short, it ended up at my job. I work in, I said I work in a ranch, but it ended up in the shop. And my old boss was my father. And for years, I said, where in the hell did you get Master Chief? And he's like, man, someone just gave it to me. But the TV's in front of it, but that's a whole stand. He's standing in rubble. These were made for a very specific video game store. Back in the day when kids used to actually have to go to the video game store. But Master Chief is considered rare because they were never sold in stores ever. And then when I got in charge, everything changed in the shop. I remember the day I took that thing home. I strapped Master Chief in my truck and I was like, "You're finally going home with me, Chief." I absolutely love that thing. And the funny thing is, it's really rare. And every time I look it up, it's getting more and more rare over the years because mine's in perfect condition. Because the only thing it had to contend with were spiders because it's set up in my shop. So it never was touched. Yet another thing in the museum of the House of Sewing that I forget that I have. But I always forget what video game store it came from. It was one of those, back in the mall days. It was one of those video game stores that I can't remember. All right, let me see if I can switch my angle. There we go. See if we can get the money shot, so to speak. The problem is I haven't found a good place to mount this yet. So it goes flopping around when it gets hit with the fabric. This is going to be a quick sew, and then I'm going to try this on and laugh at myself. See if I can back that up. Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is the inside. It's kind of like at first I thought it was pink, but it's actually like magenta. But it's gonna be a super funky pair of pants. I'm gonna really have to work on that camera. Yay! Hello, Andrea. Hello. Looks like the fabric frays easy too. It definitely does. A lot of this stuff. Yay! Hello. A long time ago, when I started inheriting a lot of fabric and stuff, I discovered that somebody in my family had this really strange hoarder habit of buying drapes, of buying all kinds. The ones you can buy at Walmart, the ones that used to come from Cost Plus, Pier 1 imports. And it's so strange to me how I completely forgot what I was talking about. Sorry. Is there any chance I could send you a picture of my bobbin on the Tiny Tailor on Instagram or something like that? Yeah. I go by Godless Sewing at Sewing in Circles. I think that's what it's called. On Instagram. Let's check it. Let me dust that thing off. Oof. You can hear the dust falling off of my Instagram. I constantly talk about it. I really do not hop on Instagram that much. I do more as a message board, but let me see if I can find my... Oh, here we go. Profile. It's been so long. Yay! Hello. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. Let me share it really quick. This is my Instagram. It's been a while. Last time I posted, it was a while. That's from 2 years ago. It's been a long time. Perfect. Yay. Here, let me click off of that. Yay. Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope you're having a great evening. Yay. The guy from the phone company was here doing some troubleshooting last month, and he said that they were upgrading the internet speeds. I just checked yesterday, and my speed was 25 times faster. I love that. Absolutely. Have a great night. Yay. Hello, emo banjos. Absolutely. I love your name, by the way. I love your name. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'll DM you. What's going on right now? Okay, if I don't respond, give me a second because I'm gonna finish my pants and um attack something in my kitchen. But I've been drinking espresso and I usually don't sleep at night, so I'll be up for a while. Awesome, awesome. But yeah, the Tiny Taylor has its faults. So there's a lot of things that you can get caught up on. That's definitely that's definitely one of those that's one of those problems that people have all the time. All the time with that. All right. This is gonna be a great reveal with these. Perfect. Can you guys hear the crickets? Or is my beard working? But it's so funny to me because they are in here with me. I'm gonna have to figure out a better angle for that camera. I don't notice crickets. Definitely hear the crickets. I have the door closed and fans on. They are living here. They are reverent. Sounds good. No worries. Just invite you to the message thing and then I'll send you what I'm looking for. No worries. No worries. I am definitely here to help. It's a frustrating machine. As somebody who works with all types of sewing machines, that is a very frustrating machine. They're inside the perimeter, man. They're on top of us, man. You know, it's been I've been back from Oregon for a very long time. My son is about to be 15. I've been back 16 years. I've lived here that long. I'm at the stage of acceptance. They do drive me insane. And if anyone, like when we're out in nature and people are like, oh, crickets are so peaceful, I'm like, you've never been to my house. But it makes me feel better that it's not just my house, it's my entire neighborhood. Like I just recently had new neighbors and they I saw the exterminator. I was like, you're just gonna push all the crickets to my house. Really and really if you think about it, that's really what they're gonna do. Earbuds in and I can't hear them. That means my beard is working. I'm also really loud. Like it's the strangest thing because I actually am supposed to have a really soft voice, but I project, so I'm extremely loud. I have 5 frogs in the backyard croaking way louder than crickets. We used to have frogs when the water table was higher here. But because water is such a contentious point here, we really do not get animals like we used to. We still get bunny rabbits and stuff like that. Well, I call them bunny rabbits, but they're desert hares. They have a class and a distinction and a monocle. But when the water goes down, all the animals disappear. I guess I despise the Aussie and the fireworks. My ears are better than I thought. Oh, for seriously. Even when I was a kid, I used to think about this. I used to go to these raging parties when I was a kid, and I would come home and my ears would be ringing. It's not like you could wear you would not be cool if you were wearing earmuffs at a party, but I should have back then. We used to get frogs here a lot, but then other animals moved in and ate them. Here, more than anything else, it's water. I think, that's going to be one of the biggest fights in the future. But where I live, it's water. And so because of that, like, it's really hit or miss. Am I going to fit in these? I'm going to fit. I'm going to fit in these. It's really hit or miss with certain animals. That's why I'm even surprised with the amount of crickets we have. And I'm not saying this as inviting them, but we really haven't had as many mosquitoes this year as normal. Last year it was disgusting. I couldn't have my door open. I was wearing long sleeve during the summer because the mosquitoes were so bad. And this year it hasn't been like that at all. I mean, I would be sitting here and all of a sudden my arm would just start like popping up with all the bites. Not a fan, as you can tell. I'm not a fan. Oh, these are going to be perfect. All right, let me move all this stuff. Oh, wow, I got to bust out the tiny Taylor. I love my collection of tiny sewing machines. Southern Californians already had one water war, gonna have another at some point in the future. Oh, absolutely. I was recently talking about like Vegas. Oh, yesterday, I was talking about Las Vegas with somebody who's from there, and they were saying, I don't know where they're gonna get water 50 years from now. And he was born and raised in that area, and I thought that was very interesting when he said that. As someone who's from there, sounds like it needs a lining and pockets. Oh, don't worry. I still have miles of tweed and other kinds of fabric. This is me going through my stash. I've been really guilting myself, even though I went and bought fabric last weekend. Or was that 2 weeks ago? I can't even remember at this point. All right, let me move everything. Let me clean up a little bit in here. Oh, what a mess. What a world. What a world. I need to clean up. I have this collection of water bottle and Gatorade bottles down here. But I'm staying hydrated. I'm still now that I'm getting my my car fixed, my travel bug is coming back. I've already gone to Vegas twice, and I am the king of playing things out. So where should I go? And it has to be somewhere where I can drive and be back by Sunday. At least Sunday. Or I'll do some weird grainy live stream on my phone. I'm still kind of leaning towards San Diego. I watched a video about San Diego today and I was like, it's the same distance as like from Vegas that it would be to go to San Diego. I think San Diego might be closer. Alexa, how far is San Diego from Los Angeles?
From Los Angeles, San Diego is 120.6 miles away by car.
Oh, that's like 2 hours. I could walk there. But with traffic, it's probably like 3. Yay. I'm coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan. I don't know how far away it is, but still. Alexa, how far is Grand Rapids, Michigan from Los Angeles?
From Los Angeles, Grand Rapids is 2,180.6 miles away by car.
That is 2,000. I will be going to Michigan soon because I will be visiting Fred Sanford. I just have to figure out. I'm just gonna get a big rig with a camper and just film myself the entire way there. More corridor traffic. Yeah, that is true though. No, you are 100% correct, because when I'm going south, I'm going through major cities. So that is true. That's one thing I love about driving to Las Vegas. Once I hit Mojave, I'm by myself. And it doesn't matter, even like when there's traffic, when there's an event, once you hit the desert, it is, I've been to the desert on a horse with no name. I love that song. I love that song. 3 hour drive is absolutely, I think that's what's been getting me is because I've been trapped in the house because of the plague. I haven't left the house, and I'm not trying to be mean, guys, but the plague is still out there. And I'm one of those people that walk around looking like the Lone Ranger, but I'm starting to get out more, and it's reminding me that a lot of these places are not far from my house at all. Sorry, I'm looking at somebody on my security camera. Mono Lake and Lake Mead are probably going to be empty by 2050. Let's be honest, that's exactly what he was talking about yesterday. That's exactly what he was talking about. Just got the plague today. You got the plague today? Lots of them out there. I'm so sorry if you did. It's still out there. It is still out there. I know a case of a place that like 19, 20 people just got it. There was an outbreak. Yikes. I don't know how, and you know what the funny thing is? That's where they get all of their water from, is Lake Mead too. He explained it to me and I was like, that's insane, because it's really low right now. Yet Vegas, like I was just there, they have fountains, misters everywhere because it's hot. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I have to be careful with the horse with no name. It makes me want to drop everything and move to Arizona. I love that song. It always reminds me of Open Desert. That song reminds me of Open Desert. Let me put those pants on. If you hear crying, it's because I did not take my hips into consideration again. But recently, YouTube would not let me play that song on a short. I was trying to change the mood on my YouTube shorts, but they would not let me play that. So that song has an extreme copyright on it. There was a YouTube, make sure the camera is off. Do you know what's so funny? You show your legs one time on YouTube. I am so self-conscious now. A while ago, I changed on YouTube thinking my camera was off, and I showed everybody what color plaid of my Walmart boxers I was wearing that day. Now I check. And now I have that song stuck in my head. All right, pants. You can fit. We can do this together. We can do this together, pants. I believe in you. Oh. Oh, they fit. Always believe in the math. Didn't doubt it for a second. Oh. Hold on, me. There we go. I don't have any shoes on. Let me switch my angle. Oh, these are great. Do you know what? It's so funny. These fit my waist exactly. So there was a brief moment of truth as I slipped them on to see if they fit or not. And that is the wrong angle. He wore an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Now that song's gonna be in my Oh, I love how these came out. Like I said, my last pants were tight. And I'm not talking about the style. Let me fix my microphone. My pants were tight. They were so tight that I don't know what I did wrong. But these I can actually turn around and show you the back. My pants were so tight last time that I could not turn around because there was a giant split in the back. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Adria. Thank you. Those definitely need a hem, but hems are kind of in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. You were definitely appreciated here in the House of Sewing, Emo Banjos. I love your name. I absolutely love your name. Have a great night. Have a great night. Thank you, Alibaba. Thank you. You know what's really funny? I read that as good fit too. This is just the beginning. I'm gonna add belt loops for this because I'm obsessed with that 1970s leisure pant look. So I'm gonna put belt loops. These are something that I'm definitely gonna wear. Hold on, I have to. Oh, I can do the karate kick in them. Definitely a victory. Definitely a victory. You know, I have fallen in love with that vendor because I'm expanding my sewing. I'm working with all different types of material and it's doing nothing but helping my style. So I have another funky pair of pants. These, I'm going to switch my angle because I feel like it's not doing justice. And maybe I am colorblind. At first, I thought these were pink, but they're like magenta-ish, magenta adjacent. Wow, I can actually do a nollie in these. They're kind of magenta-ish. No crotch below. It is a good thing. The fact that I can stand at this angle is amazing. But I love this pattern. This is just another funky pair of pants. And the funny thing is that in a really weird way, these are original because I guarantee you nobody's walking around with a pair of pants like this. I guarantee you. Unless they like making drapes out of clothes out of drapes like I do. But these are definitely one of a kind original pair of pants. I'm proud. I am proud of these. Because I want to make everything into a jacket. That's my problem. I think I watched way too much MTV as a kid. I'd turn everything into a jacket. And, you need a funky pair of pants to go along with your funky jacket. So these are beautiful. All right, here's the test. Oh, no ripping. Oh, perfect. No one has electron pants pattern. It is definitely an original. That's why I kept the tag. My son was like, "What's the color?" I was like, "Edison." He's like, "That's not a color." Oh, we had such a debate. And then I got to introduce him to Edison, and now he doesn't like him after being introduced to him. Oh, good times. Good times. I love this new vendor that I found. I need to go see Modelo Man. He's going to know that I've been cheating on him with other vendors around Los Angeles. But like I said, every time I go there, I buy at least $200. I'm sorry, 200 yards of fabric. Every time I go, I get at least 200 yards and I spend only 40, 50 bucks at the most. I go crazy in downtown. Oh, these are beautiful. Now I have to go see if I can find the other half of this pattern because now this definitely needs a suit top. A magenta suit. Oh, come on. You know what's really funny? I don't know if you guys have seen the original Dumb and Dumber, but there's this scene where Jeff Bridges and Jim Carrey, they come in wearing these suits. I want either the orange or the baby blue suit. I am always on the hunt for a print like that. Reminds me of that pink flamingo suit that Don Cherry wore. Style. Don Cherry has style. Don Cherry has style. Don Cherry, man, I will take that. Don Cherry has style. Oh, these pants. You know what the funny thing is? These are hot. These pants are hot. So far, the tweed suit, I was posing in the sun and I was like, okay, you got 5 minutes. And then I'm not kidding you, today when I was filming my fur coat, I had all my stuff together. I was standing in the air conditioning in my doorway in a fur coat. I ran out with the tripod, did this. It was like 96 degrees. Where's my camera? Let's see if we can get a sneak peek. It was hot. It was extremely hot when I was posing. Oh, why did I do that? There we go. Ah, wrong side. Okay, let's try that again. Here we go. Little behind the scenes here in the house of sewing. It was 90 something degrees when I was out there with a gray fur coat. 96 degrees. Oh, of course it was hot, but what about the temperature out? Thank you. Smoke it. Oh, when I did my little Beatles walk and everything, it was hot. It was hot. I had to laugh because I guarantee you all my neighbors they look at the security camera, they're like, I don't even want to know what he's doing. I don't even want to know. It might insulate you from the heat. For a while, it actually did. For a while, but then like I have an elevated body temperature. It was 108. Woof. Can I ask you a question, Ty? Where you're from, are people used to that weather, or were they freaking out? Because like where I'm from, we're used to that, but like that's batten down the hatches weather. That is you really need to hide inside. It's been 70 and 80s. That's bragging. It's been hot here. But the sad thing is, like, when it's 92, I'm like, it's not that hot. I really didn't even put the air on until the afternoon because we had a weird breeze going, but it was still in the 80. 108 is crazy. You know what's so funny? People that live in Arizona, Las Vegas, they come from around the world to live there. Even New Mexico, people move there from around the world. It makes me laugh because the people from there move away from there. Oh, could you, like, where I live, it's 95 and above on average this time of year. I would ask the A word, but she probably would dox me like she always does. But I canceled my trip to Vegas this week. It's hot, man. Let's check. I have State Line on my on my you know, when you have all of your you know, all your temperatures and everything. I have State Line on here. Let's see what it was. It was 91. And no, it's 91 right now. Wow. It is 91 right now on the border of Nevada and California. Oh, it's not too bad. It's going to be 103, 102, 106, and 104. Wow. I feel like 90s and above are so hot that they dry out the air and make it suck less. 80s aren't hot enough to cook the moisture out, so you get the humidity and the heat. It's weird. I feel the heat. So if it's not hot, I'm there. But again, I'm a desert dweller. And it was weird. I'm telling you, even when I was stuck in traffic, I was in the middle of the desert. I'm not playing. I mean, like out in the middle of nowhere. It was 115 outside. I got out of my car and kind of stood there, and I was like, well, it doesn't feel that hot. You really don't feel it at first. And I have this really cliche saying that it all feels the same after like 102. It all feels the same. But again, I'm biased. I'm from here. I'm a desert dweller. When I lived up north, I thought it was insane that when it would rain, people in Portland would wear shorts. Do you know I would catch pneumonia if I did that, even back then? And I was spry and in my 20s and healthy. I would have caught pneumonia, So it all depends on where you're from. It's one of those funny things. I've had bad storms last night, but nothing has changed. Yikes. That's the worst. That is the worst. See, like people where I'm from, we don't even like realize things like that because the weather doesn't affect us like that. We're more scared of earthquakes. That's crazy. I've been through a hurricane, though. I have in 1989 in Mexico. And I remember walking out and literally experiencing the eye of a hurricane. It's real when you're in the middle of it or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. It was huge. Whatever that storm was. Man, I'm really aging myself on that one. Let me check my notes. I think we've conquered today. I have my fur coat. I'm not going to put it back on. That thing is so hot. Do you know what's really funny? Tonight I'm going to film this for my Friday shows, but I'm excited. I'm going to take the door off. I've been trying to do that for 3 days, but it's taking me this long to clean just to get here. Let's see. MMA people are weird. It's weird to me when I see someone one day and then they're huge the next. People need to stay off of PEDs. All right. I have a lot of cleaning and stuff I'm going to have to do after this live stream. What is today? Today is Wednesday. Do you know what's so funny? Pam, this is twice now that Pam has caught the fact that I put Monday on a Wednesday live stream. That's where my brain was. That's where my brain was when I was making the thumbnail of like, it's Monday. It felt today. I've been running around so much. It felt like Monday. Today in 1902, the air conditioner was invented. We need a statue for this person. We need a statue. Do you know where they were from? There's this weird thing. I have a rivalry with my friends from the UK because we both claim that our countries invented everything. Both of us. And we'll come with references and be like, here, I have a book. And they'll be like, I have a book that proves you wrong. William Carter is his name, Buffalo, New York. Good, I can throw that in my friend's face. But there is that weird rivalry between people in the UK and people of America of like, well, I invented this, I invented this, or, my country invented this, or my country invented that. It's time to go to bed or put my glasses on, and I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel, Dottie. I'm not putting my glasses on. It is Wednesday night. I want to thank everybody who watched my live stream. I'll be back at it on Saturday. I actually have really been enjoying everybody who's been tuning in. Ty, thank you so much for being here. Kilroy is always number one. You are always welcome here. Alibaba, I want to thank everybody. Andrea, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Emo Banjos, which you can sue me when I make that the name of my folk band. I love that. I love that. Oh, to anyone who tuned in tonight, I absolutely thank you. Anyone who watches this in the future, I sincerely thank you. But seriously, Andrea, thank you. You are always welcome here. Everybody is. I hope everybody has a great night. I'll be back at it on Saturday, making more insane, crazy things, and probably going to go thrifting because that's my thing. You guys are absolutely appreciated. Thank you so much, Ty. I will see you guys on Saturday. I hope everybody has a great week. And like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time. Thank you, everybody.